Welcome to Twisted Heartstrings. Hello everyone. Welcome back to Twisted Heartstrings. If you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today's story is about betrayal, revenge, and justice. I'm telling you this story from the beautiful city I'm in right now, but I want to know where you're listening from. Drop your city in the comments so I can see how far this story travels. Now, let me take you into Maya's world, where everything perfect was actually falling apart. The perfect life that wasn't. My name is Maya Thompson, and I'm 32 years old. For the longest time, I thought I had everything figured out. I owned Eternal Designs, a jewelry boutique in downtown Portland that I'd built from nothing over the past 8 years. My pieces weren't just jewelry. They were art. Each ring, necklace, and bracelet told a story. Celebrities wore my designs. Fashion magazines featured my work. I had worked hard, really hard, to get where I was. But success in business didn't mean anything compared to what I thought I had in my personal life. I was engaged to Adrian Matthews, the man I'd loved for 4 years. He was everything I thought I wanted. Tall, handsome, charming, with dark hair that fell perfectly across his forehead and a smile that made everyone trust him. He worked as a financial consultant, helping wealthy clients manage their investments. We met at a charity event, and he swept me off my feet with his confidence and attention. Then there was Sienna Park, my best friend since college. We'd been through everything together. Late-night study sessions, heartbreaks, my father's death 3 years ago, her mother's illness. She was the sister I never had. With her bright personality and infectious laugh, Sienna made every room lighter. She worked in marketing, but always said she wanted to do something more creative. I trusted her completely. I trusted both of them completely. 6 months ago, Adrian proposed to me in front of the Eternal Designs boutique, right where we'd had our first official date. He got down on one knee with a ring I had designed myself. Yes, I designed my own engagement ring. It sounds strange, but I'm a jewelry designer. I know exactly what I want. The ring was a masterpiece, if I can say that without sounding proud. A 3-carat emerald-cut diamond set in platinum, surrounded by tiny sapphires that caught the light like stars. The band had delicate vine patterns I'd carved by hand. It was worth $45,000 in materials and craftsmanship alone, but to me, it was priceless because it represented us. Adrian knew how much that ring meant to me. I'd shown him the designs, talked about every detail, explained why I chose each element. When he proposed with that exact ring, I thought it meant he truly listened, truly understood me. I said yes immediately, crying happy tears while he slipped it on my finger. Sienna was there that night too. She'd helped Adrian plan the whole thing, or so she said. She hugged me tight and whispered, "You deserve this happiness, Maya. You deserve everything." I believed her. The first cracks appear. Things started changing about 2 months ago, right around September. Little things at first, so small I told myself I was being paranoid. Adrian began working late more often. When I called his office, his assistant would say he was in meetings. When he came home, he smelled like expensive perfume, not his usual cologne. He said it was from clients, from long dinner meetings with investors. I wanted to believe him. Love makes you want to believe, doesn't it? Sienna started acting different too. We used to meet for coffee every Tuesday morning without fail. Suddenly, she was busy. She'd text instead of call. When we did meet, she wouldn't look me in the eyes for long. She'd check her phone constantly, smile at messages, then put the phone face down on the table. Quickly, when I asked if everything was okay, she'd laugh it off. "You worry too much, Maya. I'm just stressed with work. You know how it is." But I did know how it was, and this wasn't normal stress. This was something else. Things go missing. Then I started noticing things missing from my studio. I keep my workspace at the boutique, a private room in the back where I design and create. It's my sanctuary. Only 3 people had keys. Me, my assistant Lucas, and Sienna. I'd given Sienna a key years ago because she sometimes dropped by with coffee when I worked late. First, it was sketches. Design drawings I'd been working on for my new collection. I thought I'd misplaced them. Then a few expensive gemstones disappeared from my safe. Small ones, easy to overlook, but I inventory everything. 2 rubies, 3 emeralds, a handful of diamonds. Worth about $8,000 total. I started keeping track. More sketches vanished. Tools went missing. Even photographs of finished pieces disappeared from my files. Someone was stealing from me, but I couldn't understand why. What would anyone do with my sketches and photos? The worst part was the financial issues. Adrian and I had opened a joint account 2 years ago for wedding planning and shared expenses. We each contributed equally, or we were supposed to. When I checked the account in October, nearly $30,000 was gone, withdrawn in cash over several months, always in amounts just small enough not to trigger alerts. The questions I couldn't ignore. I called Adrian at work one afternoon, my hands shaking as I looked at the bank statements. Hey, honey, quick question about our joint account. Did you withdraw any large amounts recently? There was a pause, just a second too long. What? No, what? There's money missing. A lot of money. Maya, you probably used it and forgot. You know how busy you've been with the new collection. Talk to difficult clients. Adrian, I track every penny. I didn't withdraw this money. Well, neither did I. Maybe it's a bank error? I'll look into it. Don't stress about it right now, okay? I have a meeting. He hung up quickly. That conversation felt wrong. Everything felt wrong. But I still didn't want to believe what my gut was telling me. I was engaged to this man. I was planning to spend my life with him. You don't just throw away 4 years because of suspicions, right? I called Sienna next. Hey, can we talk? Like really talk? Oh, Maya, I'm actually really busy right now. Can it wait? It's important, Sienna. It's about Adrian. Another pause. What about Adrian? I think something's wrong. He's been distant, and there's money missing from our account. And I need my best friend right now. Maya, her voice softened, and for a moment, she sounded like the old Sienna. You're stressed. Wedding planning is hard. Adrian loves you. Don't create problems where there aren't any. Listen, I'll call you later, okay? I promise. She didn't call later. She didn't call for 3 days. The business trip that changed everything. I had a business trip scheduled for the first week of November. A jewelry expo in Seattle, just a 3-day trip. Important clients, potential investors, the kind of networking that could take Eternal Designs to the next level. I'd been looking forward to it for months. Adrian seemed almost too eager about me going. You'll do great, babe. This is your moment. Don't worry about anything here. I'll take care of the house. The expo went better than expected. I secured 2 major contracts and got featured in a national jewelry magazine. I was riding high, excited to share the news with Adrian and Sienna. On the last day, one of my meetings got canceled, so I decided to surprise Adrian by coming home a day early. I texted him, meeting canceled. Catching an earlier flight. Home tonight instead of tomorrow. Can't wait to see you. He didn't respond, which was unusual. Adrian always responded to my texts within minutes. I figured he was busy, so I didn't think much of it. I caught a 6 o'clock flight and landed in Portland at 8:30. By the time I got home to our house in the suburbs, it was almost 10 at night. The truth crashes down. The house was dark except for lights upstairs in our bedroom. Adrian's car was in the driveway, and there was another car too. A white BMW that looked familiar. My heart started pounding, but I told myself it was probably nothing. Maybe Adrian had a friend over. Maybe it was a colleague. But it was Sienna's car. I knew it was even before I saw her distinctive bumper sticker, the one I'd helped her pick out that said, "Create your own sunshine." My hands went cold. My stomach dropped. Still, I told myself there was an explanation. Maybe something was wrong. Maybe she needed help and came to Adrian. Maybe I was overthinking everything. I opened the front door quietly. Music was playing upstairs, something romantic and low. Wine glasses sat on the coffee table, 2 of them, empty except for red stains at the bottom. A woman's jacket hung on the chair, Sienna's jacket, the one I'd complimented last month. I should have called out. I should have announced myself. But something made me stay quiet. I took off my shoes and climbed the stairs slowly, each step feeling like walking through water. My heart hammered so loud I thought they'd hear it. The bedroom door was open just a crack. Light spilled into the hallway. I heard voices, laughter. I heard Adrian's voice say something I couldn't make out, and then Sienna's laugh, that familiar sound I'd heard 1,000 times over 10 years of friendship. I pulled out my phone and opened the recording app. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. I pressed record and held it near the door opening. The conversation that destroyed everything. When are you going to tell her? Sienna's voice, casual, like they were discussing what to have for dinner. Tell her what? That we're in love? That I'm only marrying her for her money and business connections? Adrian laughed. Actually laughed. I'm not stupid, Sienna. We wait until after the wedding. Once we're married, I have legal rights to her business assets. Then we can make our move. My legs almost gave out. I pressed my hand against the wall to stay standing. But wearing her ring, sleeping in her bed, pretending to love her, doesn't it bother you even a little? Sienna asked. Does it bother you? You're her best friend. You've been lying to her face for 6 months. She's too trusting, too naive. Always has been. She actually believed me when I said I was happy for her when you proposed. The truth? I've wanted you since the day you two met. And honestly, taking her down a peg feels good. She's always been so perfect, so successful, so talented. It's annoying. I bit my lip so hard I tasted blood. This couldn't be real. This was a nightmare. Adrian spoke again. Speaking of taking her down, how many designs did you manage to photograph? Almost the entire new collection. The photos are great too. My contact in New York thinks we can easily sell them to competitors. She's been working on these designs for 2 years. They're worth a fortune. And the gemstones? Sold them last week. Got $12,000 for everything. I added it to our fund. Our fund. They had an our fund with my stolen property. Perfect, Adrian said. I pulled another $8,000 from the joint account yesterday. She hasn't noticed yet. Between that, what you've been taking and what we'll get from selling her designs, we'll have enough to start our own jewelry business. Her clients will follow us once we're offering the same quality designs at lower prices, using her own work to compete against her. I love it, Sienna said. I could hear the smile in her voice. The best part, Adrian continued. She'll be so heartbroken about us leaving that she won't think straight. She'll probably let the business fall apart. We'll swoop in, buy Eternal designs for cheap, and boom. We own everything she's built. You're terrible, Sienna laughed. I love you. Love you too, babe. Now come here. I didn't need to hear more. I'd heard enough to shatter my entire world. I backed away from the door slowly, my whole body shaking. I made it downstairs, grabbed my suitcase that I'd left by the door, and walked out of the house that I'd bought, that I'd made into a home. I sat in my car in the driveway for 10 minutes, tears streaming down my face. Not because I was sad. I was furious, more angry than I'd ever been in my entire life. The morning after, I didn't go back into the house. I drove to a hotel downtown and checked in for the night. I didn't sleep. I sat on the bed, listening to the recording over and over, making sure it was real, that I hadn't imagined it. Then I started making lists. First thing in the morning, I called my lawyer, Janet Morrison. She'd helped me set up my business and had handled my father's estate. I trusted her. Janet, I need to see you today. It's an emergency. Maya? What's wrong? Everything. I'll explain when I see you. Can you meet me at 8? I'll be there. Next, I called my accountant, David Chun. David, I need you to go through every account I share with Adrian Matthews. Every joint account, every shared investment, everything. I need to know where every penny went. Maya, is everything okay? No, but it will be. How fast can you do this? Give me 2 days. You have one. Then I called my assistant, Lucas. He was 25, smart, loyal, and had been with Eternal Designs for 3 years. He opened the boutique every morning and closed it every night. He knew my business almost as well as I did. Lucas, it's Maya. Don't go to the studio today. Meet me at the Pearl District Coffee House at 9. And Lucas? Don't tell anyone. Not anyone. Okay, boss. Is something wrong? Yes, but we're going to fix it. Planning my response. At 8 o'clock sharp, I sat across from Janet in her office. I played her the recording. Her expression went from shocked to angry to coldly professional. Maya, this is audio evidence of conspiracy to commit fraud, theft, and emotional manipulation. You have grounds for immediate action. What do you want to do? I want to destroy them, I said quietly. Legally. Completely. I want them to lose everything the way they planned to take everything from me. Janet smiled, and it wasn't a nice smile. It was the smile of a lawyer who loved justice. Then let's make a plan. We spent 2 hours mapping it out. We'd gather more evidence, document everything, prepare charges. But we wouldn't move yet. We'd wait. We'd let them think they were winning. We'd let them dig their hole deeper. The key, Janet said, is making them believe you don't suspect anything. Can you do that? Can you face them and pretend nothing's wrong? I thought about the last 4 years. About every lie Adrian had told. About every time Sienna had hugged me while plotting against me. About that recording on my phone where they mocked me, called me naive, planned to steal my life's work. Yes, I said. I can do that. At 9, I met Lucas at the coffee shop. I told him everything. He stared at me in shock. Then his face hardened with anger. That explains so much, he said. I've seen Sienna taking photos in your studio. She said she was documenting your process for a surprise birthday video. I believed her. It's not your fault, Lucas. She played all of us. But now I need your help. Can you secretly change the locks on the studio? Make new keys only for you and me. Consider it done. What else? I need you to install a hidden camera in my workspace. Something small that no one will notice. Can you do that? My brother does security systems. He'll have something. Maya, are we taking them down? I looked at my assistant, this young man who'd worked so hard for my business, who'd believed in my vision, who looked ready to go to war for me. Yes, Lucas, we're taking them down, but we're going to be smart about it. We're going to be patient. And when we move, it's going to be so perfect they won't see it coming. He grinned. I'm in. Whatever you need. Wearing the mask. That afternoon, I went home. My home. The house I'd bought with my money before I even met Adrian. He was in the living room, working on his laptop. He looked up when I came in and smiled that charming smile I'd once loved. Maya, you're home early. I thought you weren't coming back until tomorrow. Got done early. Missed you. The lies came out easier than I expected. Where's my ring? I noticed you're not wearing yours either. For just a second, panic flashed across his face. Oh, I took it off to shower and forgot to put it back on. Yours is upstairs. I knew he was lying. I knew exactly where my ring was. He'd sold it. Probably weeks ago. But I smiled and nodded. Okay, I'll grab it. How was your day? Boring without you. Hey, Sienna stopped by earlier. She wanted to talk about your birthday party next month. She's planning something special. That's sweet of her. More lies. So many lies between all of us. But mine had purpose. That night, I climbed into bed next to a man who was planning to ruin me. I kissed him goodnight and told him I loved him. And when he said it back, I felt nothing. The man I'd loved for 4 years was gone. Maybe he never existed. In his place was a stranger, a thief, a liar. But I was stronger than they thought, smarter than they believed. While they saw a naive, trusting woman they could manipulate, I was building a case that would destroy them both. 2. The next morning, I woke up next to Adrian and smiled at him like nothing had changed. He kissed my forehead and got ready for work, completely unaware that I knew everything. When he left, I stayed in bed for a few minutes, staring at the ceiling. The hard part wasn't hating them. The hard part was pretending I didn't. I got up and made coffee. My hands were steady now. The shock had worn off, replaced by cold determination. David, my accountant, called at 9. Maya, you need to sit down for this. I'm already sitting. Tell me, Adrian has been taking money from your joint account for 8 months. Small withdrawals, always under $5,000 to avoid attention. Total amount stolen is $37,000. But that's not all. He's been using your business credit card, the one you gave him for emergencies. My jaw clenched. How much? $22,000. High-end restaurants, hotels, jewelry stores. He's been buying gifts, but not for you. I checked the dates against your calendar. Every purchase was made when you were working or out of town. $59,000. He'd stolen almost $60,000 from me while planning to steal everything else. Can you document all of this? Every transaction, every date, every location. Already done. I'm emailing you the full report now. Maya, this is fraud. Clear, documentable fraud. Perfect. Thank you, David. Next, Lucas called. Boss, the locks are changed. New keys are ready. And I installed 3 hidden cameras in your studio. One above your desk, one facing the safe, one by the door. They're motion activated and send footage directly to a cloud account. Nobody will ever know they're there. Lucas, you're amazing. Thank you. There's more. I checked the visitor log from building security. Sienna has been coming to the studio at night. After hours. At least twice a week for the past 2 months. The security guard thought she was helping you with late projects because she had a key. My blood ran cold. She's been stealing for 2 months. Looks like it. Want me to pull all the security footage? Yes. Everything. Every time she entered, how long she stayed, what she carried in and out. I want it all. Building my army. That afternoon, I met with Janet again. She'd brought someone with her, a private investigator named Marcus Reed. He was a quiet man in his 50s with sharp eyes that missed nothing. Maya, Janet said, Marcus is the best. He can get us evidence that will hold up in any court. Photos, videos, financial records, everything. Marcus shook my hand. Mrs. Thompson, I've reviewed the information your lawyer provided. What you're dealing with is serious. These people are planning to commit multiple felonies. I can help you prove it. What do you need from me? Access to your home security system, if you have one. Permission to follow both subjects. And patience. Good investigations take time. I don't have much time. They're moving fast. They want to steal my new collection before I can launch it. Marcus nodded. Then we move faster. I'll start today. Within 1 week, I'll have everything you need. I gave him access to everything. My home security footage, my business records, my social media accounts. Then I told him about my plan. I'm throwing an engagement party. 3 weeks from now, I'm going to invite everyone important to them. Their families, their friends, Adrian's business partners, Sienna's colleagues. And at that party, I'm going to expose everything. Janet's eyes widened. Maya, that's risky. If they catch on before then. They won't. They think I'm stupid. They think I'm naive. Let them keep thinking that. They'll get comfortable, make mistakes. By the time that party happens, we'll have so much evidence they won't be able to deny anything. Marcus smiled slightly. I like the way you think. Public exposure adds pressure. They can't hide when everyone they know sees the truth. Play your part perfectly for 3 weeks. Can you do that? I thought about the recording on my phone. About Adrian laughing while planning to ruin me. About Sienna calling me annoying for being successful. About 4 years of lies. Yes, I can do that. The perfect bride-to-be. The next 3 weeks were the hardest of my life. Every morning, I woke up and put on a mask. I smiled at Adrian. I kissed him goodbye. I texted Sienna about wedding plans. I pretended my heart wasn't broken and my trust wasn't shattered. I threw myself into planning the engagement party. I rented an elegant venue downtown, a historic mansion with crystal chandeliers and marble floors. I hired the best caterers in Portland. I ordered flowers, arranged music, sent out invitations to 150 people. Adrian thought it was sweet. You're going all out, babe. This is going to be amazing. Only the best for us, I said, squeezing his hand while wanting to pull away. Sienna helped me plan, or pretended to. We spent hours picking decorations, tasting cakes, choosing the perfect playlist. The whole time, she smiled at me with that fake warmth. I'm so happy for you, Maya. You and Adrian are perfect together. I know. I'm so lucky. The lies tasted like poison in my mouth. But while I played the excited bride, my team was working behind the scenes. Marcus followed Adrian and Sienna everywhere. He photographed them meeting for coffee, having lunch, entering hotels together. He documented their affair in detail, every date, every lie they told to cover their tracks. Lucas monitored the hidden cameras in my studio. Sure enough, Sienna came by 3 more times at night. The cameras caught her photographing my designs, opening my safe, taking small valuable items. Every second was recorded in perfect high definition. David tracked every penny Adrian stole. He found more purchases, more lies, more evidence. The total was now $68,000. Janet prepared legal documents. Criminal complaints for fraud, theft, and conspiracy. Civil lawsuits for damages and emotional distress. Restraining orders ready to file. Everything was arranged, just waiting for my signal. The trap within the trap. 2 weeks before the party, I set up the final piece of my plan. I called my biggest client, Richard Chun. He owned a chain of luxury department stores across the country and had been carrying my jewelry for 5 years. Richard, I need a favor. A big one. Anything for you, Maya. What do you need? I explained everything. The betrayal, the theft, my plan. Then I told him what I needed from him. I'm going to let slip that you're offering me a major contract. An exclusive deal to design a signature line for all your stores. I'll mention it around Adrian and Sienna. I guarantee they'll approach you, trying to steal the deal. And when they do, you record everything. You string them along. You get them to incriminate themselves even more. Then we use it as evidence. Richard was quiet for a moment. Maya, what they're doing to you is terrible. I'm in. Let's nail these thieves. 3 days later, I casually mentioned it at dinner. Adrian and I were eating takeout, and I was scrolling through my phone. Oh wow, I said, making sure I sounded excited. Richard Chun wants to meet next week. He's talking about an exclusive deal. This could be huge for Eternal Designs. Adrian looked up immediately. Richard Chun? The department store guy? Yeah. He wants me to design a signature collection for all his stores. The contract could be worth millions over 5 years. I saw the wheels turning in Adrian's head. His eyes lit up with greed. That's amazing, babe. When's the meeting? Next Thursday. I'm a little nervous. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever had. You'll do great. You always do. That night, I heard him on the phone in his office. The door was closed, but I pressed my ear against it. Janet prepared legal documents. Criminal complaints for fraud, theft, and conspiracy. Civil lawsuits for damages and emotional distress. Restraining orders ready to file. Everything was arranged, just waiting for my signal. The trap within the trap. 2 weeks before the party, I set up the final piece of my plan. I called my biggest client, Richard Chun. He owned a chain of luxury department stores across the country and had been carrying my jewelry for 5 years. Richard, I need a favor. A big one. Anything for you, Maya. What do you need? I explained everything. The betrayal, the theft, my plan. Then I told him what I needed from him. I'm going to let slip that you're offering me a major contract. An exclusive deal to design a signature line for all your stores. I'll mention it around Adrian and Sienna. I guarantee they'll approach you, trying to steal the deal. And when they do, you record everything. You string them along. You get them to incriminate themselves even more. Then we use it as evidence. Richard was quiet for a moment. Maya, what they're doing to you is terrible. I'm in. Let's nail these thieves. 3 days later, I casually mentioned it at dinner. Adrian and I were eating takeout, and I was scrolling through my phone. Oh wow, I said, making sure I sounded excited. Richard Chun wants to meet next week. He's talking about an exclusive deal. This could be huge for Eternal Designs. Adrian looked up immediately. Richard Chun? The department store guy? Yeah. He wants me to design a signature collection for all his stores. The contract could be worth millions over 5 years. I saw the wheels turning in Adrian's head. His eyes lit up with greed. That's amazing, babe. When's the meeting? Next Thursday. I'm a little nervous. This is the biggest opportunity I've ever had. You'll do great. You always do. That night, I heard him on the phone in his office. The door was closed, but I pressed my ear against it. Sienna, she just mentioned a massive deal with Richard Chun. Yeah, millions. We need to move on this. If we can get to Chun first, offer him the same designs at a lower price. Exactly. Call him tomorrow. I smiled in the darkness. They'd taken the bait. They walk into it. The next day, Sienna called Richard Chun's office. She introduced herself as a new jewelry designer with exclusive access to Maya Thompson's design style. She asked for a meeting to discuss a business opportunity. Richard's assistant, who was in on the plan, set up a meeting for 2 days later. When Sienna and Adrian walked into Richard's office, they had no idea they were walking into a trap. Richard recorded everything. He had cameras running, audio equipment hidden. His lawyer sat in the next room, listening. Adrian and Sienna pitched their plan. They showed him photographs of my designs, my actual designs that Sienna had stolen. They claimed the designs were theirs, that they'd developed them together. They offered to undercut my prices by 30%. We can start immediately, Adrian said. We have access to the same suppliers, the same materials. You'll get the same quality you're used to from Maya, but at a much better price. And Maya? Richard asked carefully. Won't she be upset that you're using her designs? Sienna laughed. Actually laughed. Maya will be too heartbroken to notice. Adrian and I are together. We're leaving her soon. Her business will probably fall apart anyway. She's too emotional to handle the stress. So you're stealing her designs and her fiancé? Richard's voice was neutral, but I knew he was furious. We prefer to think of it as starting fresh, Adrian said smoothly. Are you interested in the deal? Let me review your portfolio and get back to you, Richard said. Leave the materials with me. They left confident, smiling, sure they'd won. They had no idea they'd just confessed to fraud on camera with a lawyer as witness. Richard called me immediately. Maya, I have everything. Video, audio, documents. They signed papers claiming the designs were theirs. This is ironclad evidence of theft and fraud. Thank you, Richard. Send everything to my lawyer. Gladly. And Maya, when this is over, that exclusive deal I mentioned, it's real. I want to work with you. You deserve success, not betrayal. I almost cried. After weeks of lies and pain, someone was showing me genuine kindness. The party approaches. 1 week before the engagement party, everything was ready. I had evidence of theft, fraud, embezzlement, and conspiracy. Marcus had photos of their affair spanning months. David had financial records showing every dollar stolen. Richard had video of them trying to steal my biggest opportunity. Lucas had security footage of Sienna breaking into my studio. Janet had prepared arrest warrants. She'd worked with the district attorney's office, presenting all our evidence. They were ready to press charges. 2 police officers agreed to attend the party as guests, ready to make arrests when I gave the signal. I had thought of everything. Almost everything. 3 days before the party, Adrian came home with a small jewelry box. My heart stopped. Was he going to give me back my ring? Maya, I have something for you. He opened the box. Inside was a ring. But it wasn't my ring. It was cheap, probably worth a few $100s. A tiny diamond in a thin gold band. Nothing like the masterpiece I designed. I know you've been sad about losing your engagement ring, he said. I finally saved up enough to replace it. I know it's not as nice as the original, but it's from my heart. He'd sold my $45,000 ring and replaced it with this. And he expected me to be grateful. I wanted to throw it in his face. I wanted to scream. Instead, I smiled, tears in my eyes. Let him think they were happy tears. Adrian, it's beautiful. Thank you. He slipped it on my finger. It felt like a shackle. But I wore it. Just 3 more days. I could last 3 more days. The final preparations. The day before the party, I went to the venue to oversee final preparations. Everything was perfect. The ballroom was decorated in silver and white. Crystal chandeliers sparkled overhead. Tables were set with fine china and fresh flowers. A stage was set up at the front with a microphone and large projection screens on either side. Those screens were key to my plan. Lucas had prepared a presentation, a digital slideshow that would play during my speech. Nobody knew what was in it except my team. Not the venue staff, not the caterers. Nobody who might accidentally tell Adrian or Sienna. That evening, Sienna came over to help me get ready. We opened a bottle of wine, did our nails, talked about the party. She was excited, bubbling with energy. Tomorrow is going to be perfect, Maya. A perfect celebration of you and Adrian. I hope so. I want everything to be memorable. Oh, it will be. Trust me, everyone will remember this party. She had no idea how right she was. The day arrives. The morning of the party, I woke up calm. Eerily calm. All the fear, all the anger, all the hurt had crystallized into pure focus. Today was the day. Today, justice would be served. I spent the morning at a spa, getting my hair and makeup done. I chose a stunning red dress, elegant and powerful. I wanted to look strong, not like a victim. When I looked in the mirror, I barely recognized myself. This wasn't the naive woman who'd believed in forever. This was someone new, someone who wouldn't be broken. Adrian saw me and whistled. Wow, babe. You look incredible. Thank you. I want a night to be perfect. It will be. I promise. His promises meant nothing. They never had.